Our next guest is an aquanaut who last month made history as the first human to spend 100 days underwater, all for a scientific mission project called Project Neptune 100.
Yep, and he's here now to tell us why he did it and what he learned. Please welcome Dr. Joseph Dituri, a.k.a. Dr. Deep Sea.
Dr. Deep Sea!
Hey guys, how are you?
Thank you so much for taking the time. Why, sir, did you decide to live underwater for 100 days?
So it's a long sordid tale, but three main reasons. I have a PhD in biomedical engineering, so I wanted to find out what happens to the human body when you leave it in an isolated, confined, extreme environment. So we took a whole bunch of blood, urine, saliva, electrocardiograms for the heart, electroencephalograms on the brain, just to see what actually happens to the human body, blood pressure, all kinds of other testing. Then, second mission point was that we wanted to talk to students and convince them that science is not boring. Look at the cool pictures down there. We can do science in cool locations.
So I'm assuming it's essentially like you're in a submarine, right? And would you liken it to that? And what's the situation with, I'm always curious, my first thing is, how did you eat? And what was the restroom situation?
Good point.
Yeah, great questions, because those are two very important things for a 220-pound guy, right? So it's kind of like a submarine in that it keeps the water out, but I am open to the water pressure. In other words, I had a little hole in the bottom that I would just go swim in and out of, right? You see me climbing through these things, right? So I could go swimming every day. That was a standard bunk room. And that's the difference between this and a submarine. So we use the restroom in a little porta potty john that we basically pump to the surface and adjoin the fluid system that's in Key Largo, if you will. And then the second point, the food. Great people at Jules Undersea Lodge brought me down food in these pressurized containers so that we could feed me and take care of all those basic human necessities.
I love that you could get out and swim every day.
That's
When I
cool.
saw those videos, that was awesome. And tell us about some of the visitors you had when you were down there.
Oh, some of the people that came down to visit? I had astronauts come and visit. And PhD and MD friends of mine, Mickey McCombs-Kobza, a PhD researcher in shark physiology, just a bunch of great people.
Wow.
My mom came to, that's a picture of my mom coming to visit.
That's wild.
We're not going to say how old my mother is, right? Okay, because I don't want to get in trouble.
Ageless, Dr. Deep Sea.
Right? She got certified to dive just to come down to visit me.
Oh, that's awesome.
We were all so saddened and shocked by the Titan submersible implosion last month. As a fellow explorer, and I know that you had friends on board, how did all of that impact you?
Yeah, look, we go boldly. It's what we do, right? We're researchers, we're explorers. Our job is to experiment. Our job is to push the limits. Now, we don't go boldly, crazily, but we go boldly with that right sense of risk, right? Risk is our job. Risk is our business. But that's how we push the human boundary. And that's how we figure out all of those inspiring things, like how Titanic sunk. Like we did a dive to Britannic, the HMS Britannic, just to find out why she sank. And it was a really dangerous dive. And it was really risky. And she's off the coast of Greece in about 450 feet of water. And we dove down to her to check her out. But it's risky. It happens. So we went boldly, and unfortunately it didn't work out very well. But sometimes it works out great, and we get good information for the betterment of humanity.
Absolutely. What is your next adventure?
Oh,
you know?
Yeah. He's so cute.
It's interesting because if you go to the International Space Station for 6.5 days, you can make up 100 sunrises and 100 sunsets because of the speed that it rotates. So I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there just in case you have somebody listening.
Okay.
I tell you what, we're keeping our eye on you, Dr. Deep Sea. This guy's got it going on.
Thanks so much. Glad you're back. All right, Dr. Deep Sea. We'll be right back.